Hi, this is Davis, Solid Builders Inc. I want to share with you a methodology that has evolved over the years, and it basically is an accountable, transparent, innovative solution right off the shelf. Anybody who is in business would probably really enjoy a tool such as this, and I'm going to show you why. First of all, this is a paperless, minimal typing solution uh, with before and after tax um, abilities uh, right out of the gate. In other words, using this tool, you should be able to turn your taxes in on the last day of the business cycle and be ready for business on the next day. First day of the business cycle, you should be ready for business. I don't know how many people are experiencing that. I've experienced it, and it is one of the best experiences I've had in business. What I cannot stand is after the year is over, I'm spending more than a month, 2 months, just trying to put the paperwork together to submit and be in compliance. That should not be the case any longer. So how is it done? Well, here's QuickBooks. This is what I like to use for my accounting system. I've been using it for years. Hopefully I don't have to adjust. If I do, I'll have to, but if I don't, I'll be thankful for that. But look right here, the estimate. Notice how it is the cornerstone, so to speak, of the accounting infrastructure. Uh, People have a tendency to not really pay attention to the cornerstone. The cornerstone in the spiritual arena is the gospel. That's what we should be trying to share with each other and love each other. And for some reason, we just don't pay attention to the cornerstone. But let me assure you, the cornerstone is the focus. It is the point where we should all be trying to get perfectly right with each other, with our business, with our day-to-day lives. And if that's the message that I had to end with today, then so be it. That would be it. But I'm going to share with you all the other details that come along with this cornerstone. And that is, it feeds into everything: the purchase orders, the accounts payables, the accounts receivables, reconciling with your bank statement. If it's perfect, you'll have a very nice experience in running your company. If it's not perfect, then it unravels and starts to become confusing and not being able to keep up with the the granular detail that's necessary. So I'm going to show you how I build. All right, and so it starts with a drawing. As the old saying says, church that doesn't have a vision is going to perish. Well, that's what happens with your accounting and your business model. If that estimate is that cornerstone is not perfect, it's not well defined. I do it by a vision. I like having a vision of what I'm trying to do. And let's look at how this works. Look how I'm drilling down into this vision, into the granular details: the roof, the ceiling, the walls, the appliances, the flooring, the decking, the concrete block, my girders. And I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to drill down a little bit more. I'm going to kind of zoom in here and I'm going to click on this block and go a step further. I'm gonna select all the similar blocks. So how everything highlights. Then I'm gonna go a step further and I'm gonna drill down on what that block is made of. Now, this is just incredibly drilling down into some details. Orientation of the block, any trim, what the appearance is, any quantity. I can drill down on the recipe. What I mean by recipe is it's not just block here. You got block, mortar, sand, time. I can drill down into that. How much per unit? What kind of formula do you want to calculate any particular aspect of the recipe for putting together this wall? Um, just absolutely granular. Look right here. Don't miss this right here. Well, let's say I wanted to make that an 18-inch width instead of a 8-inch width. Watch what happens into the granular details. See that? It all you do is draw. Once you put the parameters into the equation, it does the counting of the beams. Here's sand. How much sand do I need per cubic by the perimeter? It will calculate that for me. So that's how my estimates are built. And from this drawing, this vision, I push a button. When I push that button, it does the calculation for me, and it's all feeding from my database. That database is right inside of QuickBooks. You can see all of the items that are being used in the drawing right inside of QuickBooks. So here is the cost breakdown of the items. Very nicely done. And I can drill down. Any markups in there, I can get rid of my markups. And that's another beautiful, I don't have to mark anything up because of fear of not having enough in my cost. I can try to be basically truthful to every aspect of of my analysis, because this is what's going to help me to manage the information easier instead of me marking up and incorporating costs that really are not there. I rather keep my costs perfectly accurate with what the supplier is selling it to me for. So this particular item is telling me I need 1,622 of those block at $1.59, and it's going to cost me $2,578.98. This is materials only. It's by the push of a button. And so, the brains behind the details of that item is found in this particular tool, where I can paste that item that I just put in here and click on that per unit cost item, and voila, I'm looking at that same item, $1.59. I'm paying $34.93 an hour. If I put 1,622 of those pieces in here, there's my cost, $2,578.98. My labor cost is $6,402.18, grand total. Contracts are automatically built so that you can have your logo, your cost and labor, materials and labor in view very nicely, and it gives you a grand total for constructing that project. Uh, and this is again materials and labor um, to the nth degree. That was the push of a button. How would you like to be able to just draw your vision and crank out what your labor and material costs are going to be? Now, if you have any employees, of course, you need to have labor burden. And so this doesn't have that. If you want to put your markups, your profit, your contingency, your uh, indirect direct overhead, that's not in this price. So it's interesting when you really break things down, you get to really see what you have and what you're working with. Way you can naturally now see how detailed and how much information we're trying to keep up with from day to day. But where does it go from here? It went from the drawing to the cost breakdown to the detail of the analysis, and then I like to look at a macro view of all of my projects. I can keep up with my weather, my forecast. I'm communicating and syncing directly with Microsoft Outlook. I'm communicating and syncing directly with my invoices in QuickBooks. Uh, AIA forms, purchase orders, work orders, change orders, very nicely done. Again, note minimal typing and paperless. This is very important because it saves you a ton of time. My schedules for Gantt charts are automatically built. My contracts are automatically built. And this environment allows me to incorporate profit, contingency, indirect, direct overhead, labor burden. All of that information can be brought into this environment. Very nicely done. And then next to the last detail is my micro experience. In the micro environment, that Gantt chart is right there for me. I can see all of the events that are coming down the pipe. What I like about this tool is it not only shows me what I have to do on a particular day, but it also shows the sequence of events based on time, because I like using military clock time in here. So at 9 o'clock a.m., I'm going to be dealing with this workshop. At 10:30, I'm going to deal with this workshop. And so it, again, gives me that granular ability to drill down into what it is I am looking to do. I can have multiple items checked off. So if I wanted to look at two different projects at the same time, I can click on any of those projects. I want to look at this one and I want to look at this project, and I can apply that, and it's going to bring everything dealing with those two projects uh, into play. If I wanted to see them for a particular time frame between certain dates, I have the ability to drill it down just to items that are in that particular date, or I can look at all the dates, any and everything that has ever existed for those two projects. Um, it gives me that ability. So I'm going to give you an example of wanting to see just this particular project. I don't want to see anything else with that one. And I also will just take it to a general time frame, uh, overall time frame. And here we go. All the items for that particular project are available. And now, let's say I want to drill down into this particular task. Again, I'm drilling it. I can attach any file, any website, any document, any piece of legislation, any specification, something that's emailed, scanned, faxed, document that's produced in PowerPoint or a video, anything. Um, I can bring it in and attach it to this particular task, which is associated with this particular job, and that is extremely powerful. I can click on that particular link, it'll open that document up, and voila, I am looking at the details of that document. I can go to any page, I can put hyperlinks in that document and zoom right into a signature, a receipt associated with a particular item. Um, I'm ripping the spines out of books and scanning them into the system because the information is more powerful uh, of that book off the shelf in my system than it is sitting on the shelf. So it doesn't make sense for it to sit on the shelf anymore. I can actually use the data, um, which makes it just extremely comprehensive. Instead of me going into the typical um, Windows folder and trying to remember, you know, where did I put that particular file? You know, is it on my C drive? Is it on my whatever drive? I don't have to do that anymore. Everything now is tied directly into my calendar, into my files, into my drawing, and that is extremely comprehensive. The last thing is my taxes. I scan all of my receipts into this tool, which communicates with QuickBooks. And of course, QuickBooks is communicating with this tool, and this tool is communicating with my micro vision of my Outlook. And so everything is linked, everything is tied together, everything is on the same page. And that makes it extremely comprehensive, all from a vision. And that's just absolutely beautiful. This type of a tool, um, I have seen it cost upwards of $70,000. But again, this is an innovative, off-the-shelf, accountable, transparent solution for the 21st century. Minimal typing, paperless. I can share with you as many free tools as I can possibly muster and give you a feel for the methodology, because the methodology is the key. The methodology of creating an estimate that allows you to run your business. Payroll. I'm able to do my own payroll because my estimate is extremely accurate. So be encouraged. Um, if I could not show all of that with you, I encourage you to do not ignore the cornerstone. Do not neglect the chief cornerstone, the gospel. It is the purity of what I want to try to convey to everyone, is that Yahshua the Messiah has come in the flesh, the truth, the love of being pure is what we should be striving to edify and to encourage one another. Love. All right? Be encouraged. I'll talk to you soon. Click on the link below.